Henry VIII and His Six Wives, video and narration by Jamie Meadows. Henry VIII was the second son of King Henry VII and Elizabeth York. He was born June 28, 1491. His older brother Arthur was next in line for the English throne, and Henry was destined to become the highest churchman in England. Henry studied theology. In addition, he had a love for music, dancing, and entertainment. He also excelled in sports such as hunting, archery, tennis, and jousting. Henry's older brother Arthur married Catherine of Aragon, the daughter of the Spanish monarchs King Ferdinand II and Queen Isabella, in 1502. However, Henry's fate would forever be changed after the death of Prince Arthur at age 15 from tuberculosis, just 4 months after his marriage had taken place. His unexpected death left 10-year-old Henry the next in line to be the King of England. After the death of Arthur, Catherine of Aragon confessed to Cardinal Lorenzo Campiego that her marriage to Arthur was never consummated. King Henry VII wished to retain his alliance with the Spanish monarchs. Therefore, he decided to offer Arthur's widow to Henry. Catherine was pledged to Henry VIII, but the legitimacy of her virginity became a central conflict. In 1506, Pope Julius II granted a disposition allowing Catherine to marry Henry, even if her marriage to Arthur had been consummated. Henry's father, King Henry VII, died on April 21, 1509, and Catherine and her former brother-in-law Henry were married on June 11, 1509. Queen Catherine was beloved by the people of England and very obedient to Henry. Her official motto was humble and loyal. However, Catherine failed to provide Henry with the son he so desired. Catherine was with child 6 times in total. 4 of those pregnancies ended in miscarriage. Catherine gave birth to a son, also named Henry, in 1511. However, the child passed away 7 days later. The only living child Henry and Catherine shared was a daughter that was born in 1516, named Mary. Henry's attitude changed towards his wife in 1525. In 1526, Henry began having a romantic relationship with one of Catherine's ladies-in-waiting, named Anne Boleyn. Anne Boleyn was the daughter of Sir Thomas Boleyn and Elizabeth Howard. They were an ambitious family who strived for nobility. In May 1527, Henry decided to challenge the validity of his marriage to Catherine, which was known as the Great Matter. Henry claimed that it was against God's will that he marry his brother's wife. He also claimed that the dissolution of Catherine and Arthur's marriage granted by Julius II was invalid. Catherine appeared before the Pope at Blackfriars Court on May 31, 1526. Catherine dropped to her knees before her husband and begged for compassion and pity. She also stated that her marriage was valid and she wished to preserve it. The English representatives delayed action on the matter, hoping that they would reconcile. Catherine's health began to decline in 1530. The last time Henry ever saw Catherine was in 1531, when she was moved to a secret location. Henry was under great pressure from Anne Boleyn to annul the marriage so that she could be queen. In addition, Henry desperately wanted a male heir. Henry's decision to annul his marriage to Catherine divided the Roman Catholic Church, which was de-established in 1532. Henry's marriage to Catherine was annulled in 1533. Henry married Anne Boleyn in January 1533, and she was already pregnant with his child. Anne was crowned Queen of England in June 1533 and had a lavish coronation. Anne chose the motto, "The Most Happy." She gave birth to a daughter named Elizabeth I in September 1533. Anne also failed to give Henry the son he had always dreamed of. Henry became interested in one of Anne's ladies-in-waiting named Jane Seymour, and Henry began trying to rid himself of Anne, also by stating that she had bewitched him. He claimed that she was a sorceress and had committed adultery. Rumors began circulating that Anne had committed incest with her brother George. On May 2, 1536, Anne was arrested and imprisoned in the Tower of London on charges of incest. Anne's uncle, the Duke of Norfolk, Thomas Howard, presided over the trial. Anne and her brother were tried separately on May 14th and both condemned to death. On May 17, 1536, Anne and Henry's marriage was annulled. Henry requested a skilled swordsman be brought from France to carry out the execution. On May 19, 1536, Anne was beheaded. She became the first English queen to be executed. Henry was betrothed to his third wife, Jane Seymour, on May 20th, 1536, the day after Anne was executed. The two married 10 days later. Jane was declared Queen of England on June 4th, 1536. Jane was the daughter of a knight and gentleman of the King's bedchamber, Sir John Seymour. Jane was known for her soft and soothing manner, and chose the motto, "Bound to obey and serve." Jane's pregnancy was confirmed May 2nd, 1537. Jane was able to do something that his other two wives had been able to do, which was produce a male heir. Henry's only legitimate son, Edward VI, was born October 12, 1537. Jane's health began to fail quickly, and she was already weak from a difficult labor. She became delirious with a high fever and died October 24, 1537. Henry waited over 2 years before he remarried after Jane's death. There were many rumors that circulated about Henry from his previous marriages, and he had a difficult time finding his next wife. Henry married Anne of Cleves on January 6, 1540. Anne's motto was, "God send me well to keep." The fourth marriage was more for political necessity rather than love, and was never consummated, due to Henry was so repulsed by Anne's appearance. Anne agreed to an annulment and was rewarded a generous income of £3,000 a year and several homes. Their marriage was annulled on July 9th. Henry married his fifth wife, Catherine Howard, on July 28, 1540. Her motto was "No other wish but his." Catherine was 30 years younger than Henry, and he referred to her as his rose without a thorn. Catherine was more attracted to men her own age, and rumors began circulating of her infidelity. In November 1541, King Henry was notified of the rumors of Catherine's infidelity. At first, King Henry did not believe the rumors, but allowed the charges to be investigated. It was found that Catherine had been promiscuous prior to her marriage to Henry with a gentleman named Francis Durham. In addition, it was found that she was having an affair with a gentleman named Thomas Culpeper while married to Henry. Catherine was arrested on November 12th on charges of adultery. Catherine was beheaded on February 13th, 1541. Henry was very cautious about choosing his next wife, as he did not wish to make himself look like a fool again. Henry's sixth and last wife was named Catherine Parr. She also shared in Henry's passion for theology. Henry and Catherine were married on July 12, 1943. Catherine was a very loving stepmother to Henry's children, Edward and Elizabeth. At the end of King Henry's life, he grew very obese, bedridden, and in pain. Henry's health continued to fail, with worsening headaches and ulcerated leg. He died on January 28, 1547. Henry and Jane Seymour's son, Edward VI, became King of England at the age of 10 after his father's death. However, Edward did not rule England for long, as he died July 6, 1553, at the age of 15 from tuberculosis and measles. Henry and Catherine's daughter Mary I became England's first queen in July 1553 at the age of 31, after the passing of her half-brother Edward. Mary was well known for her Protestant persecutions and received the nickname Bloody Mary after the execution of over 300 subjects. She married Philip of Spain, but never had any children. She died November 1st, 1558, for what was thought to be uterine and ovarian cancer. Henry and Anne Boleyn's daughter Elizabeth I became the Queen of England November 17, 1558, at the age of 25, after the passing of her half-sister Mary. Elizabeth was committed to preserving English peace and stability. During Elizabeth's reign, she enforced Protestant religion by law and also had her cousin Mary, Queen of Scots, executed. During her reign, Elizabeth was pressured numerous times to marry, but never gave in to that pressure. She died March 24, 1603, from smallpox. She ruled England for over 44 years and was known as the Virgin Queen. Elizabeth I was considered one of the greatest English monarchs.